Hey guys, it's MMA Vulture coming at you live with UFC 307 recap. And dude, this card was great. Honestly, there was a lot of great fights in this card. And let's go ahead and jump into the first bout, which we have Court McGee versus Tim Means. And I was on the Tim Means side. I thought Tim Means was going to be able to fare very well in the striking and then fare decent in the grappling, enough to at least hold off Court McGee's takedowns. But man, was I wrong completely. Court McGee came out strong with with strong heavy pressure, and he looked like the better striker over Tim Means. Court McGee looked great. Apparently he had surgery, and coming out of it, he looked incredible. He looked like the better striker on the feet. He took down Tim Means with ease and just maintained control of him, eventually getting the back of Tim Means, and ultimately ended up locking in the rear naked choke. And I did not see that coming. I thought Tim Means was going to be able to knock him out. I had that as a degen prop. I really thought Tim Means was going to be able to put the hands on him. But no, Court McGee comes out and looks phenomenal on the feet, gets the easy takedown, takes it to where he has the advantage, and ends up locking up the rear naked choke, like I said. I did not think that that was going to happen. He looked phenomenal. He really did for a 39-year-old. And let's go ahead and move along to the next bout, in which we had Carla Esparza versus Tecia Pennington. And in this fight, I kind of thought it was a 28-29. I thought Carla Esparza looked good, but ultimately Tecia Pennington looked better on the feet, hitting her with stiff, quick jabs. I feel like Tecia Pennington won the second and third round. I thought Carla Esparza kind of won the first round, so I didn't really get the 30-27 on that judge's side of things, but Tecia Pennington looked good on the feet, beating her on the feet and destroying Esparza's front leg. She was hammering away at that front leg of Carla Esparza, and Esparza wasn't really checking. I think that's ultimately what kind of helped Tecia Pennington get the W. She was landing strikes on Carla Esparza's head, but also mixing it up well enough to the lower calf and to the body with her leg kicks. She was just phenomenal with her combinations and mixing up her shots. She did way better. Carla Esparza did do better than I thought on the feet. She fared very well in that department. She also had takedowns on Tecia Pennington, had decent control time, but ultimately I thought Tecia Pennington definitely got the better of her in second and third round, looking better in the striking department and faring very well in the takedown defense department. And I had Tecia Pennington. Let's go. If you guys had her, good job. And in this one, this was an insane fight between Ryan Spann and OSP, bro. An insane fight that I thought was going to end by knockout, dude. By knockout. I thought Ryan Spann was for sure going to clip OSP because OSP's getting old. He's kind of out of his prime. Yes, he did beat Kennedy. But again, Ryan Spann, great, strong power puncher. He comes out. He starts with the forward pressure on OSP, landing shots, landing some nice hooks, lands a nice, clean, flush right overhand that clips OSP, ends up wobbling OSP. Ryan Spann takes the back of OSP immediately, or not takes the back of OSP immediately. Sorry. OSP shoots for a takedown immediately, and Ryan Spann locks up the guillotine and does not let go of it, ultimately tapping out OSP. It was insane because OSP got rocked, so OSP is backing up. Ryan Spann's coming forward trying to blitz him, and OSP's like, oh shit, he's coming at me. So he shoots for a takedown, and Ryan Spann locks up the guillotine and just rides through it, takes it to the floor. OSP tries to roll out of it, but Ryan has it completely locked in, gets it, and chokes out OSP for the win. It was insane. I really did not think that it was going to end by sub, but Ryan Spann gets it done. Ryan Superman Spann. And let's go ahead and go to the next bout, in which we had Cesar Almeida versus Ihor Potieria. And this fight was awful. I'm going to keep it completely honest. I had Potieria. Yes, he lost. He got dominated, but dude, this fight was awful. Cesar Almeida should have lost a point multiple times. Dude, he had 4 eye pokes and 1 kick to the nuts. He should have gotten a point taken. That ultimately affected Potieria, which was complaining multiple times that he couldn't see. The ref didn't give a shit. Not only that, anytime Potieria had any type of advantage, he was maintaining Cesar in the clinch. 5 seconds into it, oh, you got to separate. Nothing's happening. Dude, the ref was clearly on Cesar Almeida's side. It was awful. I have never seen such shitty reffing in my life. He literally was separating 3 seconds into the clinch. Not only that, was failing to see that Cesar Almeida was constantly hitting Potieria in the eye, but was just still trying to keep them going. And it was just awful. It was one of the worst referees I've ever seen. Like, that was absolutely awful. The commentators were even grilling him because of how bad it was. Like, I've never seen such a bad referee. Cesar Almeida obviously came out, looked great in the striking department. Potieria was tagging him up a little bit, but ultimately Cesar Almeida got the better of him. But honestly, I just did not enjoy the fight at all. I think it was dirty fight. I think that Potieria had some moments in the fight. He was doing good in the takedown department, taking Almeida down. Almeida did have quick get-ups, was amazing at that, but ultimately I just did not like this fight. It was very dirty. No points were taken. A lot of eye gouges and just awful in my opinion. But if you had Cesar Almeida, good for you. And we're getting to the next fight in Austin Hubbard versus Alexander Hernandez. And again, I picked the wrong side in Austin Hubbard. This was a coin flip. I kind of chose to stay away from this fight, just like the previous fight I chose to stay away from, in which Alexander Hernandez came out and looked great. Again, like I said, he's either inconsistent or consistent, and it was a back and forth bout between Austin Hubbard and him, in which he looked good. He really did. He looked good in the striking department. He looked quick. He looked speedy. He was tagging up Austin Hubbard. Austin Hubbard was having a little bit of trouble finding Alexander, his chin. But also, Alexander Hernandez was doing great in the takedown defense area, which I did not think was going to be the case. Austin Hubbard shot 12 times for takedowns and couldn't get not a single one against Alexander Hernandez. It was awful. Completely awful. But Austin Hubbard did have some moments, did look good in some of the rounds, but ultimately Alexander Hernandez looked way better in the striking department, had cleaner, quicker combinations, had a quick, stiff jab, ultimately looked better on the feet and in the grappling department. I don't know what this one of these judges were smoking, doing a 30-27 for Austin Hubbard. I mean, dude, not only do we have bad refs, we got bad judges on this card as well, which I'm going to get to later in this card. But Alexander Hernandez looked great. He wasn't inconsistent. He was consistent this time and looked better on the feet and looked better in the grappling department over in Austin Hubbard. And if you had Alexander Hernandez, good for you. Moving right along to a great fight, in which was a lot closer than a lot of people probably expected, in Lucindo versus Mariana Rodriguez. And Lucindo was getting tagged up in the beginning, I feel like you could see Rodriguez definitely had the striking advantage, was hitting clean combinations, looking slick on the feet against Lucindo in the first round. And then In the second and third round, Lucindo started looking better on the feet, getting some takedowns notably, and maintaining control of Mariana Rodriguez. Lucindo realized that on the feet, Mariana Rodriguez was kind of the better striker and the more slicker striker, and took it to where she knew she had the advantage, which was in the grappling department. Took her down, maintained great control of Mariana Rodriguez, and just peppered her with shots, nice elbows, and just made sure to show that she had the grappling advantage and took full advantage of it. And in the third round, same thing happened again. Took her down to the ground. Also was landing some nice shots on the feet as well. And ultimately just showed that she was the better fighter come second and third round. I feel like Mariana had her moments in the fight as well, looking slick on the feet and had some notable strikes that definitely affected Lucindo for sure. But Lucindo took notes and just came out in the second and third round and showed that she was the better striker and the better all-around fighter. The more well-rounded fighter, I should say, because she took full control of her grappling abilities and beat Mariana Rodriguez. If you had Lucindo, I had Lucindo in some of my parlays too. And we're going to go ahead and jump to a great fight in Wonderboy Thompson versus Buckley. And I had Buckley, and he knocked out Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. But let me get to that later on. Thompson came out and looked phenomenal. Buckley could not find Thompson's chin at all. Thompson was doing a great job of maintaining distance on a explosive, speedy Buckley. He was doing a phenomenal job of maintaining distance. He was also doing a phenomenal job in his takedown defense against Buckley. He was not letting Buckley get him down, and even if he did let him get him down, his get-ups were extremely quick, and he was getting right up to his feet. He was getting straight to the fence, using it to get right back up to the to his feet against Buckley. Not only that, he was looking crisp and clean in the striking, which I did say he was a more technical fighter, and it showed, really. He was looking great, honestly, tagging up Buckley on the outside, and Buckley didn't know what to do. Buckley really could not find Wonderboy Thompson's chin in the first round. It was a dominant performance by Thompson in the first round. Second round comes a little bit closer in terms of striking. Buckley starting to find his range and starting to land some shots, started to get some takedowns, started to get some control over Wonderboy Thompson. And then third round comes, same thing. Starting to land, still back and forth brawl between these two on the feet, a lot closer than some would expect, and then land some takedowns. But ultimately, as he goes, as they come to the fence line, Buckley goes for an overhand right that lands flush on Wonderboy Thompson, putting his lights out clean, in which I thought it was a 1-1 going into the third, and Buckley knocked him out, ending the fight. It was insane. I did not think it was going to end like that. I thought, honestly, Thompson was going to win. I'm going to be completely honest. I thought Thompson was going to win. But Buckley ended up knocking him out, and he looked clean in doing so, dude. Buckley is the real deal. I had Buckley to win here, and he was one of my more confident picks in this card, and he ended up hitting with a clean knockout via overhand right. And let's get to the next bout, and which was a banger. Ketlen Vieira versus Kayla Harrison. And Kayla Harrison surprised me in this one. And so did Ketlen Vieira. She showed that she's very tough, durable, and a great fighter. But Kayla Harrison is just a dog, man. Kayla Harrison has insane judo, and she struggled in the takedowns against Ketlen Vieira. But eventually when she got her down, she maintained control of her and was landing some nice ground and pound and some devastating elbows, which is what she was hinting at in her in the conference, saying that she was going to use them, and she did, man. She looked great from top position. She really did. She maintained control of Ketlen when she got her down after multiple tries. Yes, it did take her multiple tries, but she looked good. Ketlen Vieira looked slick in the striking department. I feel like she looked a lot better in the striking department than I was anticipating. But Kayla Harrison, again, overall looked better, outstriking and overwhelming, pressuring a Ketlen Vieira and getting the unanimous decision, in which it was a 27-30 decision to Kayla Harrison. And I agree. I think Kayla Harrison is definitely next up for the bout. Or for the belt. Not bout. Belt. I think Kayla Harrison is definitely next. As you guys saw, Julianna Peña was literally ducking her after that, saying she wants Amanda Nunes. Like, we don't need a trilogy of that fight. Let's run it with Kayla Harrison. Let Kayla Harrison get the belt. Then we can bring Amanda Nunes back for the Kayla Harrison fight. I'd love to see that fight. Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes. Get Peña out of here. But Kayla Harrison got the better of Ketlen Vieira, and that was it. Moving right along to the next bout, in which we had Roman Dolidze versus Kevin Holland. And man, oh man, was I kind of shocked on how this fight ended. Roman Dolidze and Kevin Holland come out. They look great in the first round, both tagging each other up. Kevin Holland looks slick on the feet. Same with Roman Dolidze, landing on the feet. But ultimately, Roman Dolidze takes this to the ground, takes Kevin Holland to the ground. They're scrambling. Kevin Holland's trying to scramble out of the Roman Dolidze's control on the ground, and ends up, you could see like a pop in the video, and it looks like maybe he fractured his ribs and ultimately couldn't continue after the first round. It was devastating, man. I think Roman Dolidze definitely got the first round, looked good in the striking department, and maintained great control in the grappling department, getting Kevin Holland down. But man, oh man, was I depressed after what happened, dude. I wanted to see these two go at it, bro. I thought that this was going to be a great, great fight, even potentially fight of the night, man, in which Kevin Holland ended up getting injured and couldn't continue the fight, and it goes to Roman Dolidze via technical knockout. And I was depressed, to say the least. I had Kevin Holland, and he ends up losing to Roman Dolidze in a depressing fashion of just unfortunate events of a broken rib or dislocated rib, something. And let's go ahead and move along to another depressing fight, bro. If you guys did not see this fight pissed me off, bro. Jose Aldo starts very slow. Mario Bautista comes out fast. Looks great in the striking in the first round. I feel like Jose Aldo looked a little bit gun shy. And I feel like Mario Bautista definitely had the first round, looked great in the striking department. But come the second round, I feel like Jose Aldo definitely looked better in the striking. I feel like he looked slicker in the striking department. He had the quicker, cleaner, crisp combinations. And he was landing a lot more. He was notably doing more damage than Mario Bautista in the second round. He looked great come the second round. He was starting to find his shot, starting to gain his momentum, starting to look way better on the feet, slicker on the feet. And I feel like that continued into the third round. I don't understand what the judges were thinking or what they saw, because I feel like it continued into the third round, and he looked better in the third round than Mario Bautista. He was doing more damage. The only thing Mario Bautista was doing was clinching him up against the fence. Not doing any shot, not throwing any shots at all. Literally just holding him up against the fence, not doing any damage, not doing a single fucking thing. Mario Bautista literally was just controlling him up against the fence, and it was mainly, as soon as they broke out of the clinch, Jose Aldo was the better striker, landing the crisper, cleaner shots, doing more damage after the clinch. There was nothing being done in the clinch. It was literally just him trying to survive and just hold Jose Aldo there because he knows he couldn't strike with him. It made me mad to see Mario Bautista win by split decision. And I feel like he even knew that he lost this. Jose Aldo 100% won this. He won second and third round. He looked like the better striker and did more damage. The only thing Mario Bautista did was try and survive and hold him in the clinch. That's all he did. But obviously, Mario Bautista got the 29-28 split decision, and I feel like Jose Aldo 100% got robbed. I feel like the underdog should have hit in this one. And we're going to go ahead and move along to the co-main event, in which we had Raquel Pennington versus Julianna Peña. And this one was interesting. Again, another exciting fight in which Julianna Peña came out on fire. She looked good in the first round. Looked great in the striking department, outstriking Raquel Pennington. Actually putting on a pace that Raquel really couldn't keep up with in the beginning. But then Raquel comes out second round. Looks great. I feel like she's starting to find her groove. And then third round, Peña starts finding her groove. So it was kind of like a back and forth battle in the rounds. I feel like first round, it was Julianna Peña looking better. Yes, it was still a close first round, but I feel like Julianna Peña got the better of her. Then second round, Raquel Pennington is starting to find her shots, starting to look good on the feet, starting to put on the pace, and starting to walk down Julianna Peña. Julianna Peña started to look a little bit less confident. And Julianna Peña, third round, comes out, looks a lot better, and is putting on a pace on Raquel Pennington. And it's just insane. I really couldn't understand it. It was really just a back and forth battle between these two, in which I thought Julianna Peña had first, and then also had the second round. I feel like the third round went to Raquel Pennington. She started to look a lot better. And then fourth round went to Raquel Pennington, in which I feel like it was 2-2 going into the fifth, I feel like. And then I feel like Raquel Pennington did more work. I feel like she was outstriking Julianna Peña in that fifth round. I feel like I get that Julianna Peña did good in the takedowns in a couple of those rounds, but I feel like ultimately, either way, going into that fifth round, we all thought that it was a 2-2 match going into that fifth round. Whoever took that fifth round was going to win it. And I feel like it was 100% a Raquel Pennington fifth round. Like, no doubt about it. She was pushing the pace. She was landing the better, cleaner shots on the feet. She just ultimately took that fifth round, in which I thought that this was a robbery as well. I really think that Raquel Pennington definitely won that round. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because I feel like 100% it was a 2-2 fight going into that fifth round. And it definitely was a Raquel Pennington fifth round, man. I really think so. But ultimately, again, poor judges, poor referee work. I feel like this was one of the worst referee and worst judgings I've ever seen in a card, in which Julianna Peña took the 48-47 victory over Raquel Pennington. And she was ducking Kayla Harrison, like I said before. She wants to go after third match with Amanda Nunes. I don't think that she won this fight. I think that she needs to get put up against Kayla Harrison. And she's ultimately going to get absolutely destroyed by Kayla Harrison. And let's go ahead to our main event, in which, if you guys haven't, don't forget to like and subscribe before we continue. But we have Alex Poatan Pereira versus Kayla Rountree Jr. And this ended exactly how I thought, with a knockout. But it ended so late. Dude, I did not think that this was going to go over 2.5, let alone over 3.5. This fight went to the fourth round. It was insane. I thought that these two were going to be striking at the very start of the bell. But when they came out first round, it was really just Poatan kind of figuring out his range. Same with Kayla. Kayla was actually the better striker. It was Kayla winning the first round. He looked slick on the feet, landing the better strikes. And in the second round, again, I feel like Kayla looked like the better striker on the feet. Alex Pereira was tagging him up a little bit, but Kayla ultimately looked like the better striker on the feet, getting round 2 as well. Then come round 3, it's kind of a do or die for Alex Pereira. I feel like he needs this round. Comes out and he's starting to actually tag Khalil Rountree, starting to work to the body more, and he stopped going to the head with his kicks because I feel like that was leaving him open to counters from Khalil Rountree, which was a great job by his coaches telling him not to keep kicking at that head, even though I thought that was the weakness that Khalil Rountree had. But Poatan found a way, digging to the body, digging to the head. He ultimately broke down Khalil Rountree come third, fourth round. You could see Khalil was tiring. He was starting to gas out. And I kind of was thinking, how would he fare in the later rounds after seeing that it was definitely going to go over the 2.5. And he did not fare very well. Alex Pereira broke him down, like I said, outstruck him, overwhelmed him, and just picked him apart, ultimately knocking him out via body shots and an uppercut to the head. He had 2 body shots to the body, and then a nice clean uppercut that knocked out Khalil Rountree, ultimately putting him to bed. And Khalil had some nasty gashes, a gash on his nose, a gash over his eye and under his eye. I mean, he was getting pieced up, picked apart, and ultimately got knocked out. And Alex Pereira was my lock of the night. And I was confident in the under, but that didn't hit, man. A lot of my picks didn't hit this week. I didn't do too well. I went Raquel Pennington ended up getting robbed. I feel like Jose Aldo definitely got robbed. That was a clear rob, I feel like, in my opinion. I feel like he had second and third round for sure. Raquel Pennington, I feel like, was robbed. But ultimately, I feel like this card was a great card. A lot of finishes. The referees sucked. The judges definitely sucked. I mean, there was a lot that was showed in this card that need to be worked on in those terms. But ultimately, still a great card. And if you guys haven't, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.